Okay.
Sharon Abbott's memories of her Uncle Bob are as faint as his photos.
Robert Baber was his name. From Minnesota is where he came.
She was just 5 years old when she and her grandmother last saw him.
When World War II needed men, this 19-year-old signed up then.
She wrote this poem some 20 years ago, in part to help her family remember his sacrifice aboard the USS Harder submarine during World War II.
His life was over before it really began.
But she also wanted to process her own feelings about his death.
It was a horrible loss for everybody. And I wanted Bob to be alive to them. There's not too many things you remember when you're young, but I remember the knock, you know, and then the two sisters go over and open the door, and there's the two military men there, and then they just screamed. It was awful.
Baber was still just 19 when he died aboard the Harder on August 24, 1944. But he and the 78 others on board were already heroes, sinking the most Japanese warships in World War II, receiving the Presidential Unit Citation for their extraordinary heroism against an armed enemy.
We specifically went out this year looking for the Harder.
Renowned ocean explorer Tim Taylor told NBC News Now the Harder is so iconic that it was among the first missing subs that he sought to find as part of the Lost 52 project. And after a year of searching,
you found the USS Harder.
That discovery finally came last week.
Just found out yesterday.
Nearly 4,000 feet below the surface of the South China Sea.
What was that like when they first told you?
Oh, it was wonderful. We were laughing. We started laughing. That's what we do when we get really, really happy and excited. We have no words. We just laugh and just, wow.
It seems cliche, but it's closure. These men went missing in the war.
Well, I'm so glad they found it. You know, I'm so happy. It does bring closure. It's put to rest now. That's the period at the end of the sentence.
It is cathartic.
But it's not quite the end of the story.
We're writing the last chapter of these heroic guys and hopefully retelling a story of these men and these submarines that will resonate with the next generation.
Sharon,
although his spirit is here,
couldn't agree
I know
more.
I have to do something.
Maybe a new poem?
Maybe a new poem. That would be good. A victorious poem. This valiant, courageous, selfless sailor.
This time, the end is already written.
His life was spent to keep us free. I must never forget what he did for me.
She certainly isn't forgetting. It's important to note that Baber's remains will not be coming home, but now that the wreckage of the Harder has been identified, it is officially considered a war grave, meaning it's protected site and under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Navy. If you're interested in learning more about all of the work that the Lost 52 project put in to find it, check out this story on KARE11.com. And Janet, there is a ton of information about this discovery, and it's one of 9 that they've discovered over the last few years.
Wow. And did they just find out in the news up here in Minnesota, or did someone tell them?
They just found out in the news. Now keep in mind, this is her uncle.
Right.
And there's a lot of extended family members out there. Plus, this is very new news.
Yeah.
So there will be efforts to reach out to family members. They've had some incredible reunions with some of these lost subs over the years. So it'll be special.
Wow, what an incredible story. Thank you so much, Kent. We appreciate it.